Okay, so now that we have set up our Google Classroom, my class is all set up. It's called Reading 2. This is what you have. So you have basically 3 buttons. You have the stream, you have students, where you invite your students, and then you have about. And about is pretty much just like a profile page. You can write in a description, put your classroom number where it meets. It will show you the folder for that class where all of your assignments are going to be saved. You can have a calendar, and you can also connect that calendar to your own Google Calendar, which is actually a really nice feature for me because I'm kind of busy. But okay, so the stream is basically like a Facebook feed. So it's where all the posts go, your assignments and their responses, and we'll talk about that in another video. But now that we've set up our class, I wanted to show you how easy it is to get your students in your class. So clicking on obviously on the Students tab, you can invite your students by clicking this button that says Invite Students. I actually did this with my reading students. I got excited about Google Classroom over spring break because I've sort of been waiting to have it for a couple of years. And so I decided to try it out. And because I have a bulk email group for my reading students, I have 24 students in reading, I was able to upload their emails and send invitations to them. So I'm going to send out an invitation. I have to do it the other way. They changed my email. So I'm going to, and oh, it won't let me because this is my class. Let me do my other one. I'll just do this one. So you can put in a student's email right here. You could choose to add a note or color and highlight or whatever. So, and then you just click the invite button, and then you'll see after it's done, this student is listed in my class, although it's gray because he hasn't actually activated his account. So over spring break I did that, invited all 24 of my students. Not one of them checked their email over break. Didn't expect them to. But if they had, they could have clicked on that email and joined class and seen that I had set up a class ahead of time. So that's one way to do it. That's probably the most complicated way to do it, because the easiest way to do it is right here. You have a class code right here. So all you have to do is have your students go to Google Classroom and then put this class code in. So let me show you what that looks like. So one of the easiest ways to get your students to Google Classroom is to have them Google Google Classroom. So they would Google Google Classroom. It's going to take me straight into my classroom because it knows I'm there. And then they can click on either one of these. They can even go down to Sign into Classroom. And then, just like when we started, actually, let me go back. Just like when we started with Google Classroom, we had that, let me go back here to classes. It'll take them to this choice of either joining a class or creating a class. And they click Join Class, and they type in that class code, and then they're in your class. It's as simple as that. It literally took my students probably 2 seconds to get into my class. I actually discovered that if you invite students and they haven't yet accepted that invitation, the first time they go into Google Classroom, it will actually take them to this page, and so they'll already be inside your class, and then they click the button that says Join. That's all they have to do. So when my students went into Google Classroom, because I had invited them, they were able to immediately join my class. So really simple, really easy, and then they're in your class. If we take a look at my real reading class, you can see that my students are here, and then I am working on getting all of my students' parents connected to their classroom. So then you can also, once you have parent emails, you can invite their parents, and then the parents can choose to either get like a weekly email that tells how their student is doing, lets them know if the student is turning assignments in late, and then obviously they can email back and forth. It does have some privacy protection, which I really appreciated. They can't see all of every word of every assignment that your students are writing, but it's basically just a report on how they performed. So, and I like that because some students don't want their parents to see every little thing that they're writing, but also, they don't need that. That would be an overwhelming amount of information for a parent to receive. So again, you just either have your students go to Google Classroom and have them join with your class code, which is right in this little corner right here. It's always there. It doesn't disappear, which I really appreciate. And then, or you can invite students by inputting their email. And I had a student leave my class today. It's super easy. I just clicked on the student name and then clicked on the button here with action. And when you do that, you can email that student. Once you've done that, you can, which is great, you can email directly that way. You can remove them. And you can mute them too, which is kind of a neat function, which means that they can no longer respond, which it's a good way to get a student to come over and have a conversation with you. So inviting students, that's how it works.